tonight, eh?
Milo, is that you?
There, I think I got it.
You do the thing.
Yeah. Kelly?
It's always
Yes,
better
sir.
when you do the thing.
Kelly?
Yes, sir.
Kelly, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. This is a podcast. It's Friday morning. It's August the 20th. Do you know what is important about August the 20th, 2021?
I do.
I do.
Okay. What is it, Bruce?
It is the great Lionel Strang Walkathon Start Eve.
Start Eve, yeah. The OneMoreYear Eve. The Eve. Are you going to come with me this year, Kelly?
No, unfortunately, I'm not flying anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Not even down your driveway.
Well, it's the short driveway, so I do that every day. No problem.
You need a stall to get off the driveway flying.
I know. I was listening to Viewer Mail today. Viewer Mail 84, talking about it. So did it when you went off the driveway? Did it like roll end over end like 4 times and come to rest against it?
No, it rolled down the hill after it landed.
So barrel rolled.
Yeah,
No,
barrel
it
roll
just-
like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, can we not juice
It
up
was.
this?
You know what it was? You know what it was? It was like when Burt Reynolds drove the Firebird over the bridge.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. I have a vision, Bruce. You're a big NASCAR fan of many years.
I had a vision of the backstretch of Talladega or Daytona
Yeah.
or some of those Rusty Wallace.
Or do you remember Ricky Rudd back in the early
Ricky
in
Rudd,
the
yeah.
80s? You know, the like 15 rolls, ending and his arms flying out the window.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm envisioning. That's like
Rusty Wallace did a good one as well.
Yep.
One of the Bush the Younger, I think, rolled it and ended up coming. No,
it was Elliott Sadler.
it was Elliott Sadler ended up on his roof coming across the finish line, right?
I ended up actually talking. No, that was
Who am I thinking of?
Clint Bauer.
Okay.
In the Jack Daniels car. But remember Elliott Sadler in the M&M's car? He got upside down and going into turn 3 at Talladega.
Yeah.
Was airborne for like 3 seconds. Came down on his...
He had some good hang time there.
Yeah, and got down on his roof, then slid across the grass for a while. Then when he hit the pavement, the thing endowed. And I ended up talking to his mother.
Yeah.
Because I was buying... I called his a gift shop like 3 weeks later just to buy something. I forget what it was. And the lady answers, right? And I'm being me, and I'm going, so is Elliot there? No. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, when does he stop by? And she goes, well, I'll see him tonight for supper. I said, oh, you're having dinner with him? She says, well, he's coming to my house. Oh, well, that's fun. And how does that work? Like, how often do you do that? And she says, quite a bit. I'm his mother.
Perfect. Well, give my regards to Elliot.
Yeah, give my regards to Elliot. And I actually ended up racing against him on iRacing there, sim racing,
Really?
about 2 months ago. Of course, he lapped me about 4 times, you know.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, this is unedited, Kelly.
All right.
So don't screw up. They were not editing this at all.
There'll be no goal horns, so be careful.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, there's no goal horns. We're doing this the night before. This is being broadcast on the morning of August 20th. We're recording it the night before. So if you're hearing it around 8 o'clock in the morning, we just recorded it a few hours ago. So the no editing, we just took it out of as soon as it was done, we took it out of the oven, slapped the beginning and the end on it, and threw it on the table.
There it is.
And there it is. So what I thought, Bruce, I ran this idea by you, and you thought it was a good one, is, we got a bunch of people that sponsor me for this walk in the model railroad industry. And I thought we should make a point of doing a little podcast to thank them before we even get started.
Absolutely. Absolutely we should.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Kelly?
That sounds great.
Okay. So anyways, I got a list here. Would you like to hear the list, or do we have anything? It's going to be a tough one this year. I'm having foot problems, and it's going to be hotter than a snake's bum in a wagon rut. It's going to be a long walk this year.
Yeah, the weather forecast isn't your favorite beginning of the week.
No, it doesn't. It's like that for the next 4 or 5 days. Hot and sticky.
perfect.
Yeah. And the
Which
sun.
reminds me of that scene from Good Morning Vietnam where he's doing the weather reports. Hot and sticky in the jungle, and you know the rest. I won't say it. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's where it's hotter than a snake's butt in a wagon rut comes from. So anyways, that's what we're doing. What do you think, Kelly? What do you think of this? This is the 5th year we've done this walk. 5 years.
That's amazing.
It is. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it was fun walking with you. That what was that? 2017.
2017.
We walked the last stretch, but that was walking to that barn or whatever, where we had the picnic.
Yeah,
the barbecue or whatever it was.
Yeah, the first year, which was so we started in 2017. We had already had One More Year 2 years previous, where the very first year, Barb insisted that we should have a barbecue to celebrate the fact that I'd survived the year. And I'm like, okay. So we raised $1,200. Then the next year, Tim Warris from Fast Tracks got involved, and we raised $8,000 that year. So that may put us at $9,200. And then that next year, I was sitting around, and then in 2017, my dear friend John, who suffered from depression terribly, ended up passing away in February of 2017. I think I can tell this story, Bruce. He was
sure, yep.
He was a very, very, very good hockey player, and to the point where he, you know what our problem is? You know why we're off sync tonight?
No,
because our cameras are on.
Oh, well,
that's
I keep staring at Kelly, staring up in the air.
Yeah, you cannot do.
There we go. That's much better.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that.
All right,
now we're going. See,
now you see how much better that sounds.
Well, it sounds better, and also you can't do these podcasts.
It also looks better.
It looks way better. You cannot do these podcasts with being able to see the person. It's distracting because you're not in a studio where you're live with a person, so it's distracting. So my dear friend John, who was good enough to end up in the NHL, according to his friend Mike Gartner, who is a legitimate NHLer, played for New York Rangers and Toronto Maple Leafs, and these guys played together on something called the Wrigley Midget Team for Canada, which was a big deal. And but I don't think they have the team anymore, but they used to have this team called Wrigley Midget Team. And it was a big tournament. Anyways, John played for that team. It was a big deal to end up on that team. So John played on that team, and they went to Russia, and they played in a big tournament in front of like thousands of people, like tens of thousands of people, like 15,000 or something. And it upset John and disturbed him so much he never played hockey again.
Wow.
Ever. He occasionally would play pickup games, but he never played organized hockey ever again. And Mike Gartner says he could have been one of the best of all time. And John struggled. I knew John since I was about 30. We met at the golf course. We played golf every Sunday together. He owned the local sports store. And then when I got sick with cancer, he was like unbending. He continually said to me, "You are going to survive this, no problem." He was unwavering, as was everybody that tried. All my close friends tried to be as positive as they could. But John was this unwavering. You're going to beat this. You're going to beat this. And then he started to but after about a year and a half, he started to struggle with his depression. And I did what I could, but it wasn't very good. And then so he was number 17 in organized hockey on the Wrigley team. He was number 17. That was his number, playing for all the local all-star teams. And then on February 17th, 2017, and I just thought of this the other day, Bruce, as I was thinking about doing this podcast and why I do this walk. Then on February 17th, 2017, at approximately 1,700 hours. So I lost John forever. And during that, I found that very difficult, because he'd been such a rock there for the first couple of years. And
yeah, you did struggle with it. I do know that. It was certainly a tough time for you.
Oh yeah, that's an understatement. Struggle would be a word. But, well, you helped too. Everybody helped as much as they could. But for some reason or other, John understood or something. I don't know what it was. And so then after that, up until that year, we just had the 2 little fundraiser things. So I spent the rest of that year thinking, man, I got to do something. And then I thought, I'm going to walk. A doctor said to me one day, he says, how are you feeling? Because now I'm like 2 years in. Or 3 years in, coming up to 3 years in. And he's like, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? I said, I feel like I could walk from here to my house. And then the light went off, and I thought I could do that to help raise money for the psychosocial oncology clinic at Princess Margaret Hospital, because during my time, up to that point, I had discovered that cancer fries your brain.
Indeed, it does.
And you've experienced cancer, Bruce.
Yes.
And so
it's those three words. You have cancer. It turns a switch in your head. No. Yeah, it fries your brain.
It fries your brain. So then next year we raised like $15,000, and we've raised so now up until this year, before we start, we've raised $73,000 doing this, and the money goes to help people. There's a lot of people that have financial difficulties while they're trying to deal with cancer. So a lot of the money goes towards helping those people. And then also this particular department is rated number 2 or 3 in the world in this field. And they work with like hospitals in Boston and Sloan Kettering in New York City and around the world. So it's not just going to the hospital in Toronto. It goes to help studying and trying to understand the effects of cancer, dealing with cancer. On your noodle, how it affects your brain. And then after Tim Morris got involved, he wanted to get other people. He started bugging Jason Schron at Rapido to get involved. So then this is Jason's second year, and Jason sells these well cars, the container well cars that carry containers.
Yep.
And he donates a good sized portion of every car, a certain segment of cars, and they sell out in about 36 hours.
Last year was about 36 hours, and this year I don't even think the announcement hit the press, and they were sold out even almost before they were announced. Yeah.
So is Janet. I better not say his CEO or whatever she is, CFO. I think I don't understand all those initials. Anyway, she's always asking me, saying we should get more involved. So next year I should get her involved, and we should do something else. So big shout out so far to Fast Tracks, Tim Morris at Fast Tracks, because he has been very, what's the word?
Generous.
He's extremely generous and dynamic and about helping be part of this. So it's extremely generous. Tim Morris and Fast Tracks have been. And then he got Jason Schron involved, and Jason's been very generous. And then for a couple of years, the guys there at ISE, Iowa Scaled Engineering, they've donated Proto Throttle and auctioned them off on eBay. And so this will be their third year. They're going to be involved again, but this year they're doing a percentage of their sales for the month of September. So if you want to buy something from Iowa Scaled Engineering, just jump right in there. What are you going to buy, Kelly?
What am I going to buy?
Yeah,
I already made a donation.
Okay, but you could go buy something from Iowa Scaled Engineering.
I'd love to, but I got my 3D printer, so my budget is shot.
You got a 3D printer?
Just print up some money.
Yeah.
Print up some money and send it.
Yes, some resin money.
When did you buy a 3D printer?
Let's see, that would be Father's Day.
All right,
I got
just a couple.
My chief financial officer said, well, "Yeah, you could get it for your Father's Day present, and your birthday present."
So is that the one that was on sale there?
Yeah, for $199. $199. That was
plus
pretty
the curing
cool.
station took up to $300 or something, right?
Yeah, it took I think it was $385 or $345 or something like that. Yeah,
where'd you buy it?
From any cubic. Yeah,
Any cubic, right? Yeah,
Any cubic. Yeah. What?
That's the name of the company that makes it.
Any cubic?
Yeah, Any Cubic.
Any cubic what?
That
who's on first?
Oh boy. So
have you made anything with it yet?
I did the 2 test prints, and it turned out really good. I'm getting ready to. I got a gentleman who had a Thunderbird yarder, which is the piece of equipment that they use in forestry, and when they're cutting the trees, and they drag them up a hill.
Right.
And I'm going to use
like
that
like a log skidder.
Yeah, well, it's not a log skidder. It's a tower that has a cable that runs to a tree, and then they have
okay, I gotcha.
They have I forget what it's called, but the cables go down, and then people the guys on the ground wrap it around a bunch of trees, and then they pull it up the hill. And that's going to go on the layout. But I got a gentleman from Shapeways. He had the file for that, for the complete motor, the tower, the body of the thing, and everything. And I think they went $185 for Shapeways to print it, but he offered $100 for the complete file. So I sent an email to him, and he turned around, and I told him what I was going to use it for. And he said, as long as you don't sell product like that, I was make it and then sell it, I'll give it to you for free because it's for the club.
Oh, wow.
And so that was really nice of him. And that's going to, in fact, I'm probably tonight going to start printing that out to see what happens. But it's pretty exciting.
It is. And I didn't even, maybe you mentioned it before, but I you know what? Could you not print anything until I get there? Like I would pay a fair, I'd pay a fair sum of money just to be able to see you with resin going everywhere. I bet it'd be sticking to his fingers.
It's actually,
you'll probably end up in your hair.
No.
You'll look like I love, one of those I love.
Dude, casting at microchains, yes, I'd have stuff all over me, but this stuff you don't want on your skin.
Oh, exactly. So you probably better go at it with a hazmat suit.
Yeah. Well, I wear gloves, so
long sleeve shirt.
No, just gloves.
All right.
Try not to spill it.
Yeah,
my wife. On? Yeah, I have pants on.
I was saying I had this vision, you and gloves casting on.
Yeah.
That was it's up there with the. Up there with Lionel and the pool noodle,
I'd pay a large sum of money not to see that.
Exactly. How much you want? I'll double it. Yeah.
So Kelly, don't you have like $5? Do you have $5?
Yeah.
Well, you could go to Iowa's Scaled Engineering and click on their grain belt models and buy 24-inch galvanized culvert pipe, a 4-pack for just $5.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's true. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Everybody can use some culvert.
Everybody could use some culvert pipe. So yeah, I mean,
I can use them for loads.
Exactly. Which oddly enough, whenever I think of you, I think of the word load. That was rude.
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow. Do you remember I saved your life? Remember that?
Yeah, you did. How'd you do that?
Get out of the road. Get out of the road.
Yeah. I kept walking down the road.
It was that one stretch where the rocks were getting into your feet.
Yeah. Well, that was my very first year, and I had like a million blisters, and
yeah,
I've gotten good at figuring out. Although this year I'm having foot problems, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Not. It's going to be a long walk this year.
Oh man.
But
I wish I could walk with you. I had fun when we did that.
Actually, I was talking to Nick Santo, and he was suggesting about walking with me, and I said, well, it's a very kind offer, but I said you got to understand that after about the first half a day, I'm just miserable to be around. Like I said, it's not a fun experience.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking a half day. That's pretty long. I was thinking like after about the first block and a half.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty peppy for the first 3 or 4 hours of the first day. I'm making time. I'm going along thinking, well, this is going to be a snap this year. And then that late August sun starts to beat down on me around 1 or 2 o'clock. And at that point on the first day, I start to get pretty miserable. And from that...
So would that point you be past the 401 or are you still south of the 401?
I think by then I'm past the 401.
Okay, so you're well up into Don Mills or what York Mills or...
Yeah, the first place
North York.
First place I start to notice it is when I get in the bottom of Hogs Hollow. And there's there's a Shell station in there. And for the last 4 years, I now have a routine. And I go in there and I buy myself a Diet Mountain Dew. And by the time I go back up the hill out of Hogs Hollow, by the time I get to the 401, that's when I start to get kind of miserable.
Right.
Yeah. And then from there on, for the next 4.5 days, you don't want to be around me.
Yeah.
And it's not really something where you talk, right? If you chit-chatted all the way along, it would just exhaust you. Like I always say,
I don't know. We had a great time when we walked.
well, we did, yeah, but that was the last day, and
yeah, but who was doing most of the talking? You and Gene, probably not Lionel.
No,
exactly. They were chatting away.
They go, shut up, leave me alone. I'm trying to walk.
Yeah, so I said to Nick, it's not really a fun thing. You can come if you want, but I'm not very pleasant to be around. So okay, so after we get off of this, Kelly, you go buy $5 worth of culverts from.
I definitely will. I will. I'll do that.
Then the other guys we want to thank is Ron Kleiss of Mind Mount Models. This is his first year helping out, and he's donating 10% of every kit he sells during the month of September, I believe.
10% of Wilson's mustards.
Mustards.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there another kit? He named another kit. Why can't I get
Tom's Top Dog?
Why can't I get a kit named after me?
I must be working on it.
I guess so. Okay, so it's 10% of every time he sells Wilson's
mustards kit.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, and his URL is mindmountmodels.com. Just the way
they're absolutely beautiful kits.
Just the way it sounds. They actually are beautiful kits. I highly recommend.
Yeah, they
are. Let's see. He mentioned it somewhere. He listed it somewhere about how he was doing that. So I don't see it on his website. But he did tell me that was his plan, that he was going to donate.
Yeah, he's mentioned it on his Facebook page, and I think when you click on Wilson's Mustards, it might say something there.
No, it doesn't say anything, but he has. No. But you know about it because it's Wilson's Mustards.
Exactly. And I happen to have the first one.
Oh, do you?
I do. Oh. That's the third one of his kits because I happen to score the first Tom's Hot Dogs and the first Pinellas Gas.
Oh, look at you!
Because I sit at my desk doing nothing. Oh, okay. Click, and Ron's going, I didn't even put that up like 2 minutes ago. Yeah.
And have you built any of them yet?
Not yet.
Have you looked at them?
I have. That's what I say. They're beautiful kits.
Yeah, they really are. They're really well done.
Yep.
So big shout out, big thanks to Ron Kleiss at Mind Mount Models for doing that. And he volunteered that. He wasn't asked. He just jumped right on the bandwagon and volunteered to do that, which I thought was very, very nice.
Yes, indeed.
And then finally, we have our buddy Bernard Helen at Mini Prints.
Mm.
And I don't know if he's done the world a favor or if the world's going to be mad at him eventually. But Bernard came up with the idea that he was going to sell little Lionels. And I'm like, what? He says, well, I'll scan you and we'll sell little Lionels. And I'm like, okay. And he says, no. And he says, all the proceeds will go to the OneMoreYear fund. And I'm like, wow, that's great. And I think we both thought that he'd sell like 12.
Right.
At the end of the day, he'd sell a few of them. And now he has sold bazillions of them. Like, yeah.
I know about 3 weeks ago, he was at $1,400 worth. So
I know
it's gone up since then.
I know. And it's like, it's incredible. It's like he sold like 150 little Lionels.
Wow. I got the full set.
Oh, did you get the full set?
Yeah, I was thinking about buying 2 of them and have the rise and fall of Lionel, but but I think it's great. They look fantastic.
Yeah, they do. I've got HO and O, so
yeah. It'd be nice if they do G scale. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to ask him for a big one, a big G scale one.
Or do 1.5 scale. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if you got a machine big enough.
She's big enough for that. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have you do it.
It wouldn't fit in my machine.
Oh, okay. So anyways, he has sold like 150 of these little Lionels, and he's raised like $1,400-1,500 doing this. And he all the proceeds, a person pays for shipping, but all of the proceeds from the little Lionels goes to the OneMoreYear Fund, which goes to help Princess Margaret Hospital, Psychosocial Oncology Clinic, at Princess Margaret Hospital because cancer fries your brain. Tim Morris always says, I wish the department had a shorter name.
Yeah. Although you gave good, you sound like a cup driver rattling off all the sponsors.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, the old social unconscious, the little Lionels are really running good today.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. I just kind of stumbled onto this idea about 2 weeks ago. There's like 5 companies, model railroad companies now, that are heavily involved in helping me raise money. And before I even start, I've got almost, without any of the funds coming from these companies that I've mentioned, I've got almost $9,000.
Oh, that's great.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I don't know if we'll make our goal of $27,000 this year, but we're still going to put a pretty big dent in it. We're probably going to, I feel pretty confident we're going to have a pretty good number by the time we're done. So pretty exciting. So I thought we'd do this quick little podcast and we'd put it out and let everybody know about all these great companies. So if you want to buy a little lino, or if you want to go to Iowa Scaled Engineering and buy some drain pipes or all the other cool stuff they have lots of cool stuff. Or if you want to go to Mind Mount Models and buy a Wilson's mustard. Did you request to be Wilson's mustard?
I was not involved in the naming of the kit at all.
No, okay. And Iowa Scaled Engineering has all kinds of stuff. They've got their train spotter, their sound bites, their proto throttle, their motor man, an automatic reversing train shuttle controller for both
grain
bins, culverts, all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, Rapido Trains sold all those cars. We got to get them to manufacture more cars next year. That's what I should do. Is I should bend Janet's ear and say, let's do more cars next year because they seem to sell out so fast.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Bernard, and then, of course, Tim Morris at Fast Tracks and mine. What do you call it? What is
Mount
that?
Albert Scale Lumber.
Mount Albert Scale Lumber, and he hates it when I say. And every year I ask Tim because I'm always kind of embarrassed to ask because of the amount of money that he donates. And every single year, this will be the 6th year in a row. And I'll go, Tim, I'm just wondering if you're, and he goes, oh yeah, I'm sure I'm doing it. I'm doing it again. He's like, he's never falter. So a big shout out to him and everybody else that's been involved. What do you think, Kelly?
I think it's great.
That's it.
Oh, I'm trying to purchase something right now.
Are you buying culverts right now?
Not culverts.
What are you buying?
I'm buying the reverser.
Oh,
the automatic reverser for. Okay, it's done.
It's $99.
Yeah, while you're in there, buy the cicada soundbite.
Yeah.
No, I don't need. I'm tired of cicadas.
So it's $99.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you just said you didn't have any money. When I said go buy something, you said I didn't have any money. And then the next thing I know, you're dropping $100.
I've been looking to get this for a long time, and you inspired me.
It was your sales pitch, man. You got him with a sales pitch.
Wasn't it just like less than 20 minutes ago? He was going, I know.
Well, I made a donation, and
I made a donation. I don't have any money.
Yeah,
and I just said, okay, I'm gonna bite. That's since I can't be there to walk with you.
Yeah.
Are you interested in any real estate? I know some real estate.
Well, I got a lot of real estate here if you want.
How is your layout coming?
It's actually coming along well. I've got half of it. The backdrop has been painted on half of it, and tonight I did the queso cowboy routine of 1 hour or 15 minutes or whatever, and I went out and filled some holes in the other side and put some mud on it to fill the holes. And tomorrow night I will probably sand those down and prime it, and hopefully by the end of the weekend all the backdrops will be painted.
Wow.
A nice blue color. I got all the mainline roadbed down, and I went to Midwest to buy switches. So I've got all the mainline switches. I'm using Picos because I like they're really reliable. And then all the other switches for the steel mill and the refinery and anything else will be made fast tracks. I'll do fast tracks.
Wow.
So
another thing that I don't know if I would, I don't think I'm interested in your guys' opinion. But it's important to realize, too, there's a lot of AML listeners, Modelers Life, AML, Modelers Life, AML Nation, people of the network. There's a lot of people that have donated, a lot of people, and some very generous donations. And at one point I thought, I could read the names of the people that have donated so far. And then I thought, well, that's kind of rude to do that because, then you don't want people I don't want people to feel like they have to. It's never been that. Has it, Bruce?
No. It's always if you can cough up $1 or $2, $5, $1,500, whatever, we gladly accept it to help out.
Yeah, and I like what they did with the option. They give you an option to reveal if you want to reveal that you're donating and how much, or if you donated, or if you want to be anonymous. So I think it's a pretty cool setup.
Yeah, it's a cool. Yeah, you let's give out the URL right now. Hey, Lionel, let's give out the URL. Good idea. Let's do that. It's actually very, very cool, and I'm going to put the URL in the announcement or the release on the Facebook page. But if we go there, I donated $5 to myself because I wanted to see how it worked, and it is a very cool website. And Young Drivers of Canada, a company that I have my franchise with, they donate very, very handsomely.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Very handsomely as well. So
now, before you give out the URL, Lionel, let me ask a question. In past years, people could donate an amount and get a One More Life T-shirt.
Yeah.
Now you've changed things a little bit this year. Why don't you explain how that's working this year?
Okay. So last year, the T-shirts were so popular. If you donated $100, you get a One More Year T-shirt. It was so popular. I was mailing out T-shirts in January, and of course with COVID, it's just that much harder to get the T-shirts out there. So then I said to Barb, and I asked a whole bunch of people, and I didn't have one negative comment, but I asked a whole bunch of people. I said, what do you think if instead of $100 you get a T-shirt, we make it $200 you get a T-shirt? And everybody said, sure, it's all for a good cause. Absolutely. And tons of people have donated $200 to get a T-shirt. Like I'm looking at them as they go by here, and it's like $250, $250, $200, well, $200, so like tons. And so I'm still mailing out a bunch of T-shirts. So, and I guess that's accounts for how we got to, we're almost at $9,000 already. We're pretty much at $9,000 already before I even start. So I think we actually have a shot at raising like $20,000 again this year, which would be cool.
Excellent.
Which would be cool. Like I said, I don't know if we'll get to 100,000, but we'll get awfully close. And then there's always next year. But there's a lot of people that have donated very handsomely, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So did that explain it, Bruce?
I think that explained it very well.
Okay. And I was just shocked. Nobody thought that, like, everybody was happy to donate $200 to get a T-shirt. And of course, if you live in Oregon, it's all in Canadian funds.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I sent more than $50.
Yeah, I know. You sent plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's it. I think we've covered it all. This wasn't a very good podcast, but it was at least.
But now you got to give out the URL for your donation.
Yeah.
And really, any podcast with Kelly on it, is it ever really?
That's true.
Yeah. It's actually kind of long, so it's One More Year, or it's a support the PMCF Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation.ca/UI/1moreyear/participant. It's kind of foggy. Foggy. So it's kind of foggy, as I see, and this isn't being edited either. It's kind of foggy, so I will paste the URL in the Facebook release and on the website with this one. And I think I'm going to use Bruce. I think I'm going to use a picture of us.
There you go.
It's good.
Yeah, that's because I was looking at. There's a picture of you, me, and Gene from 2 years ago. That looks pretty good, and I thought, well, that'd be a good picture to use. And there's also a picture though of me on Yonge Street around St. Clair, Yonge Street. I walk. That's the other thing we should explain to people before we're done is I walk straight up Highway 11, or what is known as Yonge Street in Southern Ontario, and it's almost a direct. It is the crazy part is it is almost to the whatever
Meter.
it is meter.
To the meter.
It is almost exactly to the meter, 100 kilometers from the front door of the hospital to the front door of my house. That seems significant to me.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when you're walking through town, do people come out to see you walking, or is it just?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people stop me as I've been going along. Actually, over the years, I had one lady stop me. She was driving by, and she stopped. Wow. She says, "Are you the guy walking from the hospital to your house?" And I went, or she says, "Are you the guy walking from the hospital?" And I went, "Yeah." And she says, "Oh, I want to donate. And she gave me $50 right there on the spot.
Wow. That's great.
And I thought, well, this is a pretty good gig. Maybe I should just every week walk from the hospital.
And walk in the middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah. And every year I think to myself, if I could just lose a few pounds, this might be even easier.
There you go. And you've had local news people out talking to you.
Yeah, I've had local news people out and all sorts of things. What I need is a publicity person to help me notify all the important. But that's the thing. I don't really do that great a job of publicizing it, and we've still raised almost $100,000.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. There's a picture here with me and Batman and Robin on Yonge Street from 2 years ago.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that might be a good one to use too. And there's a picture of me and Barb too. And a whole bunch there's 2 or 3 pictures.
Just don't use the one of your feet all chopped up.
Yeah. that was the first year. I don't even know how I made it the first year. I look back now.
Oh, you were in some pain. That's for sure.
I know. It was, and you know what the other problem is? I looked at a topographical map, and it's basically uphill the entire way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1,500-foot elevation rise from where I start to where I finish.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, only a guy with short little legs like me, and I'm the slowest walker on the planet. Ask anybody they'll tell you I'm the slowest walker going, and short little legs, very slightly overweight, and I'm walking uphill the whole way. Could I make it any harder on myself? All right. But the thing of it is, I think to myself every year, I'm doing this for my buddy John, who struggled immensely. And I thought, man, if I can do anything to help anybody, and kind of in honor of my friend John, who helped me tremendously the first 2 years I was dealing with the cancer. The guy was unwavering, absolutely unwavering. I've told this story many times, to the point where around the 2 or 3 month mark, I've been at it for about 8 weeks. It was before Christmas of 2014. I actually got mad at him because he was so positive. I got mad at him. I said, every time I come over here, you're going to be like this. I said, I'm not coming over anymore. And he goes, well, then I'll come over to your office. He just was like unwavering. It was like just so disappointing when he passed away. All right. So that's it's any other news, or should we go now? I think that's it. 40 minutes.
I think we got her in there. Yeah. Anybody who's listening, we thank you for listening. And if you can donate any amount at all, please do so.
Yes, yeah. We're just happy. Anything is great, and even if you can't afford to donate, but you just think about us doing it, that's great too. Kelly, can you give out our email address?
Yes. Our email address is modelerslife@gmail.com. That's modelers with 1 L like life, not 2 L's like Lionel.
Oh, look at that.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought of that before I got on. I said, it'd be nice to just say that.
Yeah, it would be. There's a picture here of me with a police officer, and I'm walking by, and he goes,
"Well, not that one."
No, that's a different.
Oh, okay.
And he's just parked like out in the country. There's a stretch days 3 and 4 are the hardest, and it's because I have to walk like, what is that, about 25, 30 kilometers just out in the country, up a 2-lane road, and he's just parked there somewhere along the way, and he's looking at me as I'm going by, and he's like watching me as I approach, and then I go by, and I maybe get 30 feet past him. And he goes, excuse me, sir. And I stop and I look back and I go, yeah. He says, are you okay? And I went, yeah. Do you mind if I ask you what you're doing? And I said, no, go ahead. And then I explained it all to him. And he went, really? You've walked that far? And I went, yeah. And then we took our picture together and we had a chit chat. He offered me a drink. He had an extra bottle of water. So then I thought, well, that'd be cool. I said, just follow me with the lights going. That would be great.
When we were walking to the barbecue, the same thing happened. There was a cop car sitting on the road there in a driveway. Pretty went over to talk to him.
Pretty much wherever I am, there's a cop car.
Yeah. Yep.
That's unless you want to.
It's that Strang boy again.
Yeah,
Strang boy is on the walking.
And we have a website, modeler'slife.com. If you go there, I should put a link there tonight. That's what I should do right there on the website. I should put a link to. I don't really start talking about this a lot until we get to like August. Because I don't want it to end up where like 11 months of the year I'm talking about, hey, we're raising money, because you don't want that.
Yeah. Makes it special.
Yeah, that's right. Special. That's what I am. I'm special.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah. So we have a website, modeler'slife.com. And if you go there, you'll see everything you need to know about the podcast, because this is on the free channel. And if you want a Modeler's Life t-shirt, you can just go to Midwest Model Railroad, and their URL is midwestmodelrr.com. And there's is cornucopia a good word or a bad word?
Cornucopia is a good word. It's all sorts of good stuff in its one spot.
All right. I think we got her covered.
Yes, sir.
You ready, Kelly? Actually, you know what, Kelly? I think we'll have Bruce do it this time.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate because he's been here and he's always picking.
He's been at your side the whole time. So I think that's important.
There you go. Bruce, are you ready?
Okay.
You don't
he's gonna do happy rails to you.
No.
You don't sound very confident.
No, I got her.
All right. So remember, a Modeler's Life podcast is considered. Am I getting that right? Am I doing it right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not Good Night Dick.
Yeah.
No.
And it's not Close the Barn Door.
No.
Is it a Modeler's Life podcast? Is that what I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the script in front of you?
Yeah. What's on the whiteboard?
I don't know if I've ever had a script for this.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble now.
Yeah, let me look. I don't think there is a script. Happy Rails to you. Or
that's the other script. Yeah.
No, I don't think there is a script for this.
No, it's a Modeler's Life podcast is considered.
Yeah, I know. But is it? Do I always say a Modeler's Life?
Yes, a Modeler's Life podcast.
And as the years went by, the podcast became more and more confusing as Lionel.
As Lionel slowly degenerated.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like Larry King. I'll be 87 doing this. And who are you? And who are you, Bruce? How long have you been here? Why can I not remember that? That is really weird. All right. So remember, why am I?
Well, this is a first.
Yeah.
And it's non-edited, so it's even better.
I know exactly.
Yeah,
there's no time.
good.
There's no time.
The pressure's on. That pressure's on.
That's what it is. It's live.
It's live.
So remember, a Modeler's Life podcast is considered marginally adequate by 6 out of 10
long-distance walking fundraisers.
Mr. Strang's wardrobe provided by The Dashing Camper, For all your fashion and tent repair needs, trust the Dashing Camper.
It's another Lincoln Homer.